Welcome to the Palm Harvest Podcast. We are a community in Costa Mesa, California. To know more about us, visit our website, palmharvest.com. To follow along with today's message, download the Palm Harvest app and click on Sermon Notes. Thank you for listening.
Welcome. My name is Beto Gudiño. I'm one of the pastors here at Palm Harvest Church, broadcasting from Costa Mesa, California to everywhere in the world. So, thank you for watching with us. Thank you for being here. Today, we continue on our series, Discover God. So my friends, I'm gonna be super honest with you. This is my second time recording this paradigm shift message. I had already recorded the whole thing at the office with controlled environment, with the nice camera and the nice setup with the lights and everything. And I just felt like when I saw the recording, I felt like, man, this is not me. This is not my style. The message is right. The message was, I think, to the best of my ability, I think it was well done. But I think even as I was thinking of paradigm shift, I feel like if you're gonna talk about paradigm shift and doing it the way that people are expecting it to be, it's not gonna make sense. It's like telling my kids don't smoke at the same time that I'm holding a cigarette in my hands. Don't do it. Okay, so I felt like the best approach to this is to actually tell you about this paradigm shift as I show you what a paradigm shift for communications might look like in the way I present you this message. So, point number 1 in your notes. Law and rules are a good step in directing us, but they cannot change the heart. Write it down, because if it's not written down, it doesn't exist. I've called this the paradigm shift, as I said. So let's dive in a little bit. But in our time, something new has been added. What Moses and the prophets witnessed all those years has happened. The God setting things right that we read about has become Jesus setting things right for us. Can you see me? So I want to tell you about what I was thinking the other day, conversation I had with my dad. What makes America great? It's its freeways. So if you were thinking America was great back when you saw Home Alone 2, According to my dad, America is great because of its freeways, because it connects interstates through this amazing road system. And that reminds me about actually what Paul was writing when he was writing, because he was writing a letter to the Romans. And the Roman Empire was actually known for having these Roman roads, which were, in a sense, people say it's like how advanced technology was back then, because these roads were pioneer in the way communication could happen from town to town, whether it was commercial, economic, or transport of people and public and whatnot. So, really interesting thought that the metaphor of how roads are still important. Even that my dad, with the Mexican mindset, he would say something like, the US has the best freeways I've ever seen. How cool is that? So I want to show you something. Point number 2, something new has been added. So, for my dad, it's the American freeway. Maybe you would have asked Paul, what makes the ancient world amazing? Of course, he would have said Jesus. But maybe the way in which he was able to spread that message through the Roman roads was actually what he would have said. Man, these Roman roads are amazing. That's why I'm doing these missionary trips, right? So he's writing to the church in Rome. And in a very similar sense, I think this message is not just for anyone who's watching. I think it's a little bit more for church people. So, I love this place because it's actually a bike path. So in the same way that my dad said, the freeways interconnect states and they're just amazing because they have 5 lanes and whatnot, right? And you don't need to stop. There's no lights or semaphores to stop you. Well, in that same way, to me, one of the very things that I love about the United States, and especially California, but I've seen this all throughout the United States, it's bike paths. They are just amazing. Like this one I'm on, it's called the Santa Ana River. It goes like 40 something miles inland, almost all the way to Riverside. For those of you who don't know, well, basically there's the beach and there's a desert. So you can go from semi-desert all the way to the ocean on this bike road. Well, and in the same way that this bike path is just amazing, I love coming here. This is also truth, that the paradigm for how we communicate has shifted. Are you curious at all? And somebody's calling me, but does it bring to you any type of curiosity that about 500 years ago, one of the very first books ever published was actually the Bible, the Word of God? And some people might say yes, but the Asian invented it before and whatnot. But the printed press from Germany was about 500 years ago when it became massively produced. And that is epic. There's a biker right there. And as I think of that, now I think how I can even go here and download this thing called the YouVersion app. More than 400 million people have downloaded this app into their phones. Do you think Steve Jobs was aware of this when he created the iPhone 10 years ago? Look, that's a great runner right there. Keep it up, man. Not like me on a scooter. Come on, do some exercise. 400 million downloads and counting. You know what? This is the major shift in communications that has happened in the last 500 years. And if God is aware of that and He's making sure that His word is available on devices, I wonder, as we deal with this whole COVID season and churches around the world have gotten to go online, if God is up to something, if in the same way that He's making sure that His word is now even available on an iPhone, if maybe now through COVID-19, a new paradigm is started. See, we were used to, as a church, be confined to the walls of a church, and for the last 50 or 60 years we've been hearing, hey, the church is not a building and we're supposed to go outside. But what if we're not only supposed to go outside, but online? And what if online is a new reality, a new virtual world that is capable of taking us to places that we didn't even imagine? Have you seen the movie Ready Player One? See, I feel like all of us have an avatar that represents us online. So first, we've understood that in our time, something new has been added, a new paradigm, and this is Paul writing more than 2,000 years ago. Well, that new paradigm is Jesus. And basically the whole idea is the law that we have is good. Just like today, we have laws and they're good and they guide us. But Jesus surpasses the law with His goodness, with His living. So now we have a new standard of living. And this is nothing we can do, because on our own we can only do so much. But through Jesus, He's already done it. And look what it says right here, So let's go to verse 27 in Romans 3 and check it out. So where does that leave our proud Jewish insider claims and counterclaims? Canceled? Yes, canceled. What we've learned is this: God does not respond to what we do. We respond to what God does. Our lives get in step with God and all others by letting Him set the pace, not by proudly or anxiously trying to run the parade. Like I said, I feel like this message is a little bit more for church people. And I wonder if in our anxiety as we process this whole COVID-19 situation, if we maybe have been trying to run the parade and we're not allowing God to set a new pace. We're in a 21st century, and COVID-19, it's God's allowance. And by the way, one thing I really dislike about this COVID-19 situation is sometimes I'm typing in my phone, and as soon as I put COVID, it predicts the word and it puts it all in capitals. So I'm like, that's strange. When I type any other name, anything else, it doesn't put it all in caps. So I wonder, what is it about our phones and AI and devices that really wants to portray COVID as like this capital letter word? Hope this doesn't fall. So my friends, have you been trying to run the parade? Are you letting God set the pace? And even as we come out of this COVID-19 season, which really should have been called COVID 2020, that would have been a clever name. This is coming to an end. It's not gonna last forever. But some of its effects and impacts are gonna last probably for the next centuries. And we're not really gonna see it until it evolves. So as God is setting a new pace around the world for His church, how are we tuning in to God setting that pace, and to us not anxiously trying to run our own parade, our own way of doing things? What if there's a paradigm shift? What if now, as we go online and we have avatars that represent us online, it's like Jesus said, by their fruits you will know them. Well, what if He would be here today and say, by their tweets you will know them, by their Facebook posts you will know them? And who knows what's going to be in the next 10, 20 years? What if we have virtual worlds in which your avatar not only posts things, but behaves in certain ways? Now, I'm going probably too much into the future, but believe me, it's coming. It's right around the corner. And if God was smart enough to put His word in this virtual world, I wonder if now, as the churches go online, He's making sure that we represent Him well. that the same person that we are physically is the same person that we are online when we're posting, when we are on our YouTube channels, on our whatever's going to be the next communication thing, the next virtual reality device. See, integrity is when we connect the right thinking with the right actions, the right attitude, the right heart. And that surpasses the law. Because the law is good. It guides us and it tells us that we're flawed. But the way Jesus lived invites us into a brand new way of thinking and living. Something new has been added. Has it been added onto you? Have you added Jesus into your life? And more than that, not only have you added Jesus, but are you paying attention to the pace that He's setting? Because He's in control and not us. And He's inviting us to partner with what He's already doing. Do you want to be a part of it? Do you not want to miss out? Well, I think this is the invitation that Paul is laying out for us here in Romans chapter 3, verse 20-something. So check this out. This is my favorite verse. But by shifting our focus from what we do to what God does, don't we cancel out all our careful keeping of the rules and ways God commanded? Not at all. What happens, in fact, is that by putting that entire way of life in its proper place, we confirm it. So do you want to live and play by the rules? Or do you want to confirm the rules? Do you know how much anxiety, frustration it feels when the image is blurred out? Don't live a blurred out life. See, Paul is inviting us to live out crisp 4K resolution type of lives, both online and in person. Are you up for the challenge? So, point number 3 in your Palm Harvest app. Put your focus on Jesus. Well, do you want to live the life that God created for you to live through His Son, Jesus? Well, I come from the future. My name is Beto Gudiño. Follow me if you want to live.
Thank you for listening to the Palm Harvest podcast. We would love to get to know you, so download the Palm Harvest app for free and fill out our connection card. Your continued support helps us spread hope around the world. You can also give in our app and find out more about our community.